Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's me. It's me. It's the G.O.C. Coming to you live to tape 25 feet below the surface of the earth. And you know we go through this every time. I'm live, but I am taping this at the same time. Fuck it. You guys understand what I'm talking about, right? This is going to be an extravaganza, as I always say, a bonanza, here on Chaos Corner, on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. It's Saturday night. Now tomorrow, AEW Revolution from Greensboro, North Carolina. And that's why I'm here to do Chaos Corner. It's the preview and prediction show for AEW Revolution. Now, everybody's brother, mothers, uncles, sisters' ass is all doing these prediction shows and so on and so forth and previews, but you're going to get it here from the Guardian of Chaos, because I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. You won't get anybody else to give you a show like this with my over 50 years of being a historian, a researcher, a scout, an agent, a producer, a fan, a smark, a mark. That's right, I said it, a mark, because we're all marks. And of course, my over 3 decades of being in this industry, in this business, on my pro wrestling journey as a professional wrestling manager who took the fucking bumps. That's right, I took them in a ring. Can any of you else say that out there? Because I don't think that you can. But that's why you're here. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. It's raining cats and dogs outside. I wonder how they get along during this crazy weather. Sit back and relax. Grab a beverage. Grab a snack. Grab anything you want. Grab your wife. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm glad you guys are here. Much love and respect. This is a much needed distraction in the insanity of 2024. So I'm hoping you guys can enjoy this. Shout out to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because if he's for us, no one else can be against us. Stay mentally, physically, emotionally, and especially spiritually fit. Situational awareness. Head on a swivel. Keep your family and friends close and those that you love, because tomorrow's not guaranteed for anyone. Surround yourself with like-minded people and be prepared for what's coming. Wars, border invasion. Who knows what's going on with the planet and the earth, the sun, the weather, the moon, the stars. None of us know. Earthquakes, typhoons, tornadoes, snowstorms, and of course, the economy. Everything else that's going along with racial division. All these woke people and libtards. And no offense, it kayfabe, man. I'm only joking. Well, not really. You guys know where I stand. That's another story for another time. Let's keep it pro wrestling related. We have over 2,700 videos here on the channel. Over 1,000 subscribers, coming up on 500,000 views, 4,000 watch hours, and getting ready to go live. No super chats, no paywall, no Patreon, no Discord, no Zenmo, PayPal, Venmo, whatever the fuck it is that you guys call it. If you want to leave me a tip and buy me a cup of coffee or become a member, I gotta jerk off the dog to feed the cat. That's how cheap it is. I'm only kidding. Lighten up. Don't be so sensitive, man. It's a joke. Kayfabe. Let me take a sip here. Some nice Java, a little light roast here on Saturday evening. And you guys already know that AEW Collision is taped tonight. So I don't want to give the spoilers, but I'm going to give it to you when I go through my review and preview, if you will, and predictions for AEW Revolution. This is just my opinion. I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Coming off of the unbelievable promo from the other organization, the mothership in the WWE, with what's going on with The Rock and Roman Reigns and the head of the table and Tribal Chief and Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins and Finish His Story and Cody Crybabies, and if you smell what The Rock is cooking. But we're not here to talk about the WWE leading into WrestleMania 40. Although here on the channel, I'm reviewing and previewing and rewinding and going forward to go back in the time machine and to try to do as many WrestleMania reviews as I can before we get into April 7th and 8th, the weekend of April where WrestleMania 40 is. So stay tuned here on the channel. I put up some extracurricular activity videos here on the channel. Go to the community section and you'll see everything that I'm talking about in real time. Follow me on all social media platforms. You know what they are. Over on X, aka Twitter, at Big Daddy G.O.C, and the G.O.C stands for the Guardian of Chaos. On Instagram, it's the Guardian of Chaos. I have 2 accounts on Facebook. That's right, there's 2. J Brony. That's right, Jabroni for all you J Bronies out there. And Protegio Fidelis El Guardian in honor of my heritage. Follow me on Gitter, Gab, True Social, Rumble. I cover it all in the IWC. As I said, nobody else gives you reality TV, a reality show, episodic YouTube channel the way I do. Look at the videos. Every event I've been involved with, all the superstars and legends and heroes and young lions and rookies that I've worked with and superstars from the past. Book reviews, story time, live to tape watch-alongs, history, this date in pro wrestling history. That's what you get. And of course, just recently, in the last 24 hours, dinner for 2. Conversations with the wife on dinner for 2, talking about everything from Real Housewives to cooking shows, because we're expanding our horizons here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. So let me pipe down and get on to what we're really here for. We're about 7 minutes in. We'll probably go about a half an hour, 45 minutes here for AEW Revolution. Salud. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. School is in session. Besides the Java, I have to wash it down with some Pellegrino and lemon. It doesn't get any better than that. All right, IWC. Here we go. School is in session. Take your notes. Now, coming up for Revolution tomorrow night, I believe the 0-hour pre-show will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the big show, Revolution, kicks off at 8 o'clock from Greensboro. Well over 16,000 fans will be in attendance for Sting's retirement match. Sting's finale, if you will. It should be a banger. Now, AEW Dynamite and Collision and Rampage, especially the #1 show, Dynamite, the ratings are still dipping around 800,000, 850. They haven't gone up in quite some time. And let's face it, the live attendance shows are only averaging 2,000 or 3,000 fans. Lucky if they get 4,000 live. So Greensboro will be their largest crowd in quite some time. The only time they seem to really be drawing anybody in AEW is for the pay-per-views. Say what you want about the weekly shows. They've been a little weak for quite some time now. They're not drawing the ratings or the live attendance. But TK always seems to pull it out when it comes to the pay-per-views. I will say that to say this. The AEW pay-per-views are usually, as the kids say, a banger. So I'm going to go with that. I have my notes. I hope you guys enjoy this. It means a lot to me. As I said, I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Drop an elbow on that like button. Subscribe. Leave a comment. Email me. Inbox me. Do something. Share this out. Get us in the algorithm. Because we've been on a roll. We must be butter because we're on a roll. I get it. That's so corny. You can butter it. I understand. Here we go. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they've added, now I don't think they're going to add anything after the taped Collision show tonight, although I do have the spoiler on who the last man in for the All-Star 8-man scramble is. Now it's going to be aired tonight in less than an hour or two on Collision. Dante Martin wins the match tonight that was taped on Wednesday to get into the All-Star 8-man scramble, which leads to a shot at the AEW Heavyweight Championship somewhere down the road. It was supposed to be Meat Madness or whatever the fuck that was, or what they were doing. They weren't sure what they were doing with that, and it was thrown together. So let me go to 0 hour in the pre-show, and again, I don't know why you have to add this. There's plenty of other superstars that you could have added or matches, but you want to add a 12-man tag team match. We always talk about the difference between the WWE and AEW and the amount of talent and superstars that they have on for these pay-per-view events, where WWE averages about 15 or 20 at the most, and AEW puts on 50 or 60 or 70 wrestlers, talent, on one show, because everybody's got to be in on the pay-per-view. But with that being said, due to injuries and storylines and who knows who's missing in action, there's a lot of the stars and regulars from AEW that aren't going to be on. And we'll get into that as we go on here with the preview show. Now, 0 Hour, 12-man tag team match. I don't like the factions. I'm going to tell it like it is. That's what I do. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Get the fuck out of here. Get off my TV. It's garbage. It doesn't make sense. You have literally Barry J. White, who before MJF got injured was in the main event, a title picture, and now he's lost. The Acclaimed at one time about a year ago were the hottest tag team in all of AEW, and they've also been buried into this 8-man faction, which to me is garbage. It proves nothing. You're not telling a story. There's no emotional investment. There's no ring psychology. But here's the matchup: Austin and Colton Gunn, the Gunn Boys, Jay White, the Acclaimed, Bowens and Max Caster. What happened, Max? You smart ass with all your raps and stuff like that. I mean, you're okay. You've come a long way. I love you, bro. I remember you as a producer for Mr. Vegas, Scotty Wetzel, when you were on Mad Dog Radio on Sirius XM. And you've really done quite well for yourself. You were a big star at one time. But what's the matter? You forgot your little rap? I said a M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man called the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world. All the foxy ladies and pretty girls. I'm going down in history as the baddest brother there ever could be. Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? I mean, the macaroni saga, the peas are moist, and the chicken tastes like wood. Really, Max? You're getting paid thousands of dollars and you freeze on live TV after all your little wise-ass remarks and the people you throw shots at in the previous segments that you've been doing for the last year or two? I'll give you props, but you fucked up. It all comes back around when you become higher than mighty and you think you're above everybody else. And he loves the Acclaimed. I don't think so. Bowens, it's annoying as fuck. I'm just telling you the truth. You don't like it? Change the fucking channel. Pretty simple. You guys are talented for what you do. I give you respect. But it's old. The gimmick is old. Mr. Ass, all that. A legend in great shape. The guy's incredible. I'll give you all credit. But this is garbage storytelling and garbage booking by TK at AEW. And that's how I feel about it in this 12-man tag team match where you're going up against Slapnuts, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, the Giant, Willie Mack, a.k.a. the Chocolate Juggalo, Chocolate Dusty Rhodes, and Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, a.k.a. Private Party, I believe. What is the purpose of this match? Just to get everybody on the pay-per-view? I see no storyline. I see no emotional investment. I don't understand what you're doing, even with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Bring back Juice Robinson. Juice, can you get healthy and come back? Because you saved that group. The Coltons have a future. I believe one of the best tag teams in AEW, and they will be future tag team champions. Jay White was doing great as a singles competitor, and you fucking ruined it, TK. You ruined it. And of course, Jay Lethal, who's a Hall of Famer in my opinion, Slapnut, Satnam Singh, the whole Sanjay Gupta, Sanjay Dutt, whoever the fuck he is, whatever they call him. I'll give everybody credit, but you're ruining it. Willie Mack was thrown into this. I have no idea where he comes from here on this 12-man tag, but that's what you have for 0 Hour. I'm not even going to give a prediction, but with that being said, there's no way that the Bang Bang Scissor Gang scissor me daddy ass, which is offensive in itself. There's no way they're going to lose. So that's what you have, the wasted 12-man tag team match. in 0 hour, just to get everybody on. And I don't want to start off negative. I've spent too much time on this already, but that's how I feel about it. I would have rather have seen, I don't know, Athena, Mercedes Martinez, Thunder Rosa, Willow Nightingale, Sky Blue, Red Velvet, Chris Statlander, anybody else, the House of Black, I don't know, Big Bill, Ricky Starks, a litany of other athletes I would have rather have seen in 0 hour than this garbage. I'm just calling it like I see it. I told you how it is here on this channel. And I also wonder about the injuries here in AEW before we get into the full show. When's Britt Baker coming back? Where's the unbelievable Jamie Hayter? Keith Lee is persona non grata. Miro is supposedly injured at this point. Where's Taya Valkyrie? An unbelievable female grappler. Even, and I'm not a big fan of her, No Saraya, a.k.a. Paige, who they just signed her brother. That must have been a favor. I'm just saying. Where's the Ange and Ruby Soho romance? I mean, there's a lot going on in AEW. Where's Adam Copeland? Is he injured? Edge. None of them are on the pay-per-view. I'm just saying, given facts of things that I noticed. And you could have broken up this 12-man tag or the 8-man scramble and had 2 or 3 matches on 0 hour. Even bring in some of the Japanese wrestlers from New Japan or the guys from CMLL for 0 hour, as opposed to this. Konnichiwa, bitches. Origato from Chaos-san. No me jodas, maricón. Muévete, culo, pendejo. Maricón, no offense, man. De nada. Kayfabe. Kazarnis is his name. Kazizzle. Just things that I notice. Things that have stuck out to me leading into AEW Revolution. Rampage was last night, and you see all the CMLL guys coming in. Lucha Libre, again, I'm not against it. I'm not for it. It does add some entertainment value, just like when they do the New Japan Forbidden Door. Thankfully, we're not making this a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which is AEW. So there's a lot of things going on in AEW with injuries and people that have been lost in storylines or hanging out in catering. I just wanted to point that out before we move on here at 17 minutes in. Let's get on to the main show. Stay with me here, guys, and I want to make this relatable to everyone, and I want to make it enjoyable. I don't want to be totally negative, but I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm an AEW fan. I love all professional wrestling. I want it to survive. It's a much-needed, viable alternative in this industry. Although the WWE's in fuego right now with all the distractions over there and the bringing back of The Rock and talking about crack and meth and some role model you are, whether it's a work or not. What happened to the hero Rock? The political Rock? But I'm not here to talk about that. I'll do that leading into WrestleMania. There's a lot of things going on in the world of professional wrestling. There's no better time to be a fan if you want to do this. And everybody's, like I said, and brothers, uncles, cousins, sisters, and friends, everybody's doing a podcast, and everybody's doing a prediction and preview and review shows, but no one's doing it like I do it here, live to tape, face to the product, in my home, reality, who was in the fucking business, as I say all the time. That's just the reality of it. We go to the main card from Greensboro, North Carolina. The All-Star 8-man scramble, which, as I said earlier, leads into a title shot down the road for the World Heavyweight Championship. Chris Jericho, who was just recently added to this last minute, is in the 8-man scramble. Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Wardlow, Hook, Brian Cage, and as I said a little bit ahead of time, Dante Martin. Now, you know Martin's not winning, has no chance. Hook has no chance. Archer, they've jobbed out the giant monster job out for a long time. Brian Cage, another monster, a huge grappler like Archer, being totally wasted and misused. He will not win this. In my opinion, this comes down to Jericho, which I hope doesn't happen. I don't think will. Powerhouse Hobbs, they have screwed up his storyline, his booking, and the book of Hobbs for months and months now, into how they've screwed over, and I apologize for the language and cussing because I don't have to, fucked up his storyline all the way back to 2 years ago with MJF when he was his bodyguard. And then the fans were all chanting his name and he was the hottest thing in AEW. And then just disappeared. And they've tried to regain momentum back. He's with the United Kingdom, the Devil, Adam Cole, all those guys. Wasted storyline. We wasted all our time and investment in the Devil and that storyline for it to turn out the way that it did. Highly disappointing. I know I'm shitting on everything right now. No offense, Vince. It's good shit, pal. Well, yeah, that is directed at you. Too early for that joke? No? Leave a comment. Give me some feedback. But here's the way I see it. This is what I see. I believe my prediction for the All-Star 8-man scramble is going to be Wardlow. If they gave it to Jericho, it would be a total disaster. Everything he has touched recently, although he's a legend, the first ballot Hall of Famer, has turned to garbage. Just call him the facts like how I see it as an old school guy. The old man brand, the over 50 devil god. So I'm going to go with the All-Star 8-man scramble, which was supposed to be the meat. And everyone's going to beat your meat in the big meat madness match. What were you thinking, man? I'm going to go with Wardlow to win this bout. And if he doesn't, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, TK. Wardlow, my prediction. We go to the Continental Crown Championship, and I have a little bit to say about this. You invested 8 weeks of this storyline for that tournament. The blue and the gold captured everybody on Collision and Dynamite to watch in and tune every week for the 3 belts that were combined into the Continental Championship. And what the fuck have you done with it since? It's become nothing. Persona non grata, as I keep saying lately. What have you done with Kingston? What have you done with the storyline? We invested all our time, emotional investment into a tournament, which is what AEW does, love to run the tournaments. And it worked out well. And all the fans were tuning in. It was a solid tournament. I enjoyed it. To only do nothing with it since then. So this is for the Continental Championship. Kingston, the defending champion, against Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, who, let's face it, has been on a downward slide now for months after, doing some of his best work in the world of professional wrestling over the last couple of years in AEW. I believe Eddie Kingston loses the Continental Championship and Bryan Danielson comes out to be the new Continental Crown Champion. What do you guys think? Danielson is a much better grappler than Eddie. Eddie's the everyman, the common man, if you will, the blue collar, bring your lunch pail to work, the brown bag in it. From the streets. I love his gimmick. He's got to get in better shape. No offense. I mean, who am I to say anything? Although I have been hitting the gym, if you see the videos here on the channel. Trying to get in the best shape of my life at the big 6-0. I mean, who knew, right? Who knew? That's right. Looking pretty good, huh? Well, I don't want to get too crazy. I don't want to be too... I want to be humble. I don't see Kingston coming out of this one. I'll be surprised if he does. I'm going to give this matchup, as I said, and I'm repeating myself, after the wasted Continental Classic, I'm going to give it to Bryan Danielson. That's my prediction. We move on to the AEW Women's Championship. Timeless Toni Storm with her butler, Luther. Will Mariah May be somewhere laying in the weeds? I'm not sure. Against a virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo, who has come in to really cause quite a stir in the women's division. I don't think they've put as much storyline into this as they could have. They left them, both ladies, off the go-home show on Dynamite. It didn't feel like a go-home show. I'm not going to sit here and review Dynamite, but it really didn't feel like a go-home show leading into one of their biggest pay-per-views. They didn't follow up on some of the storylines. They had wasted matchups on Dynamite this past week. Will Mercedes Monet, aka Sasha Banks, show up somehow, some way at Revolution, be sitting in the stands? Because we know coming up on Big Business in Boston Beantown in a couple weeks, that's where I believe she's going to be making her debut or showing up. But will she show up at Revolution? Will she be in the crowd? Will there be a splash? I'm not saying getting physically involved. Will she be in the building, Mercedes Monet? To me, a great wrestler, a great talent, a great athlete, especially as Sasha Banks. But is she worth all the money that she's going to be getting paid? I don't know the contract or the personal details. That's why she didn't sign with WWE. She wanted more than Charlotte and so on and so forth. Those are the rumors. That's the speculation. That's the hearsay. That's the innuendo. She's been off for quite some time. Been injured a couple of times. We'll see what she does as far as the live attendance and the ratings when Monet shows up. In my opinion, they've been building up Deonna, the virtuosa, if you will. I don't think she wins. I believe Toni Storm is the best women's grappler in the whole company. That's my opinion. I love her gimmick, timeless. The whole black and white and Hollywood thing that she has going on. I think it's been pretty damn good and entertaining for what it is. A little corny, a little over the top, but she's perfect, and she has pulled this off. One of the best female gimmicks I've seen in quite some time. I actually enjoy the Storm, and she's coming, and she is timeless. Not to mention she's easy on the eyes. Purrazzo hasn't been in that long. I mean, if she loses, where do you go from there with her? Hey, listen, you got to go back and forth with this. It doesn't have to be a clean pin, but a lot of people are predicting a lot of upsets here for Revolution. There's a lot of titles on the line, and we're going to cover that. Would I be shocked if Deonna won? No, I wouldn't be shocked. It's pro wrestling. It's predetermined, even though it's sports and the physicality is real. Can't fake that. I'm going to stick with timeless Toni Storm. I don't want to see her lose it to Deonna Purrazzo yet. The story hasn't been built up long enough. It's just my opinion. So I'm going to take timeless Toni Storm. There may be some chicanery with Luther, Mariah May, who knows, because even though people don't have a manager's license, TK and AEW writers who now have a soap opera script writer, when you're supposed to have pro wrestling people writing the stories and doing the booking. That's the fucking problem to begin with, which WWE or AEW or any of the other companies. NWA, TNA Impact, MLW, New Japan, Ring of Honor. I can go on and on and on, even in Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. So we don't know if they'll be involved, but there's way too many people in AEW that just hang out and are allowed to hang out at ringside. The fuck? And again, I apologize for the cussing. It seems to be the word I use a lot, and I mean it when I say that. I mean, that's a shoot. I'm going with Toni Storm to retain the title. It's too early for Deonna to come right in. She's only been here a month or two and take the title. That's just my opinion. Hey, and I could be wrong. I'm not gambling on anything. We go next to the TNT Championship. Daniel Garcia. That's right, I got it. Daniel Garcia takes on the champion and everybody's daddy, the patriarch, Christian Cage, who in my opinion, a lot of people have been talking a lot about this. I believe he's doing some of his best heel work in his career and perhaps one of the biggest heels in all of pro wrestling right now. He's got Nick Wayne by his side, Mama Wayne, Kill Switch, a.k.a. Luchasaurus. Right? What are you going to do with that guy? The faction. I get it. That's what's going on. That's a big thing in pro wrestling right now. Factions. I don't like it. I see no way, especially with the outside interference. I mean, I don't know if Edge, a.k.a. Adam Copeland, shows up to continue the storyline with Christian Cage. We know the storyline there. It's got to move forward. It's got to go on. You're going to set up for that. I don't believe Daniel Garcia has earned the victory here. The title shot, maybe. I mean, will his boy, Mr. Nipples, Matt Menard, be hanging around? Or Anybody from the old JAS, Jericho Appreciation Society? Probably not. But with the guys outside and with Mama Wayne, how do you justify Christian Cage losing the TNT Championship to Daniel Garcia? A lot of you clowns out there, you geeks, you goons, you pencil neck geeks with the brain of a dehydrated baby, not my fans, not my subscribers, not my followers. The rest of you goons out there in the IWC are predicting Daniel Garcia. I see no way, and my prediction is Christian Cage, who's your daddy, retains the TNT Championship. We go on to a tag team match that should be lit, in my opinion. And we've gotten it like 2 or 3 weeks in a row now. FTR, the best tag team in the world today in 2024, has been buried for quite some fucking time. It's just my opinion. When did they have a great match? The last time was against Jay White and Juice Robinson, when they had an unbelievable matchup. And then a series of matches with the Briscoes. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe, the late, great Jay Briscoe. FTR has been buried. Singles matches, plus legal troubles. They have been misused and abused in AEW. They went from the best tag team in that company and in the world to now being involved with the BCC, going up against Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. What is this for? The number one contendership to the tag team titles? The tag team division in AEW is the shits. That's good shit, pal. Not too early for the Vince reference? It's the second time I did it now. No? Leave a comment. I love FTR. Harwood and Wheeler, again, unbelievable athletes. Perhaps, like as I said, the best in the world. I'm repeating here. Castagnoli, to me, vastly underused. Doesn't have the charisma, but look at the size of the guy. Look what he can do in the ring. He should be being pushed as a singles, in my opinion, going for the TNT title or the Continental Crown Championship. Even the World Heavyweight Championship. That's, I believe, the caliber of athlete that I believe Castagnoli is. So this tag team match we've had the last couple of weeks. So who wins here? Who goes over? Who fucking knows? It better not be Castagnoli and Moxley. That's just my opinion from where I come from. I'll take this and I'll wrap it around. I'll do like Moxley does, and I'll punch somebody right in the face with this if that happens. Oh, metaphorically, of course. I say FTR wins and should win this matchup and get them back in the title picture. Will you please, TK? Redundancy here. This should be a physical matchup. We've seen it, as I said. Wild Thing, you make my heart sing. It's getting old, Moxley. Yeah, he carried this company. Personally, I don't like the no selling that seems to be going on in pro wrestling today, especially in AEW. No sell, no sell. Get right up, encourage people taking their best shots. Where the fuck does that happen? Where do you see that in real life, in a real fight? Scripted violence or not? Movies or not? UFC, pro boxing, professional wrestling, street fights. Where do you see this shit? I just don't like the no selling, and especially from Moxley. And I don't like how the FTR has been used in AEW. So me personally, I want to see FTR win this matchup, and that's who I'm going with. Get them back for the title. Get them back for the tag team titles. They should have been holding them already. They should have never lost them. Just my opinion, and that's what I think about this matchup. We go to the Callis family versus the Callis family, and the incredible return of Will Ospreay. Ospreay, one of the best high flyers, one of the best technicians, one of the best athletes in pro wrestling today. I wouldn't say the best, but he's in the top 5. What an unbelievable athlete. His matches are usually all 4-star plus. That's how good Will Ospreay is. And to go up against the fastest, hottest rising star right now, not only in Japan, in all of the world, in AEW, and the IWC, and pro wrestling in general. Takeshita, come on. Big, got the look, got the moves, young. This could be the stealer of the night. I don't want to say sleeper, because these are two of the best athletes in the company, and probably two of the best in the world. Takeshita and Ospreay, this is going to be one for the ages, an instant classic. So I hope I'm not disappointed. Now, you know Callis is going to be there. Will there be some sort of turn? Will this break up the Callis family? What's the storyline there? Is Ospreay going to be a face? Where's the turn? Will Okada show up? Will he be in Revolution? The biggest signing in the world of pro wrestling right now, on the male side of it, I guess you could say Monet, Sasha Banks on the female side. But Okada is all elite. Will he be at Revolution? Will he be involved in this matchup somehow, some way? I'm hearing rumors from all the dirt sheets, and I don't listen to them or read them or write them. People send me this fucking shit. Oh, Chaos, did you hear this? Chaos, did you know that? My emails and inboxes are off the wall, direct messages, but that's okay. I encourage it. I'm looking forward to this matchup. I don't see Will Ospreay losing unless there's some sort of fuck finish, some sort of screw job. I don't know about Okada. It's just conjecture on my part, throwing it out there. Will he be at Revolution in general? What's going to happen with the Callis family here? I'm going with Ospreay over Takeshita. And this is one I'm really looking forward to. This is worth the price of admission alone. And I'll say that about AEW pay-per-views. They're starting to do a lot of them. There's a lot of people. It's a tough economy. You're charging $40, $50 for pay-per-views, $60. It's ridiculous. Between the WWE, if you don't have the cock, the peacock, the cock-a-doodle-doo. If you don't have the cock, which you got to pay $10 a month for anyway, if it's a part of your package. Or you pay for the pay-per-views. A lot of people do it illegally. I don't condone illegally. But it's usually worth the price of admission and the money that you plunk down, whether you get 10 matches, 15 matches. It usually is worth the price of admission. And that matchup alone. Really looking forward to that. We go to the AEW World Tag Team titles and what everybody in Greensboro is going to be there for. Sting's last match. Sting's retirement match. It's Sting, according to Tony Schiavone. And then, of course, Ric Flair will be around. You saw what happened this past week on Dynamite. Flair got into the ring at 70-plus years old to take on Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, when they handed him the bat and you thought he was going to turn maybe on Darby and Sting. You know, the dirtiest player in the game, but he took the old nut shot, singing soprano, that's my nutcracker. And the Jacksons took out the old man. And then Sting, a la the Day of the Crow character, down from the rafters one more time this past week on Dynamite. Came in to save the day. Took out the Young Bucks. Leading into what's going to happen tomorrow night. Sting, I remember Sting when I was Sting debuted in the late 80s. I was already in my middle to later 20s in that time frame. So I remember Sting as a young man, as a grown-ass adult, as a grown man, already being in the business, and actually met Sting back in, I believe it was 88, 89, backstage for WCW Jim Crockett Promotions. Just walking through the locker room. I was, the road stories. I was running with the SST, Samu, Rikishi, Samoan SWAT team in their feud against the Road Warriors. Freebird Michael Hayes was there, Jack Victory, Ron Simmons, Butch Reed, Luger. So it was cool to see Sting as the surfer boy, so to speak. Woo! Himself as a Stinger. And that was an honor, and I'm humbled and grateful and fortunate that I was around trying to learn the trade, apply the trade at that point in my career, which I was 25 years behind the walls. So I've been well aware of Sting and been at the beginning of his career here all the way to the end. And for him only being a few years older than me, damn impressive how Sting, a.k.a. Steve Borden, has gone out. Really, really impressive run. They've used the legend, the hero, the right way in AEW. A lot of times when the guys hang around when they're older or into their careers, they're not used the right way. They can't pull it off. They're not in shape. Flair's a perfect example. This guy's going to die in the ring. The physicality looks terrible. I'll give him credit. He's a legend. To me, on my Mount Rushmore, one of the best grapplers of all time. That's just facts. That's how I see it. But Sting, it's truly going to be a pleasure to see Sting. And Darby Allin has grown on me. Again, I've talked to Darby, met Darby back in 2018, and briefly, and didn't realize he would be this big of a star. And he really has grown on me and pulled it off and become like a veteran, in my opinion, in such a short time. I respect Darby Allin. Don't like the physicality. Don't like what he's doing. Don't like his style. Man, he can take a fucking beating though, huh? And that's real physicality. Let that sink in. So the tag team match, they are the current tag team champions. Now we're the Young Bucks, the EVPs, if you will. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson came into this. They must have went and sucked his balls, or Tony Khan tickled his taint or something like that to get involved on this. And I will admit the heel turn and them coming back to being the immature pricks that they are, which I heard they were in real life. I can't verify that. I'm not speaking out against them. I'm just going by what people have said. I go by my own judgment. So this is just me throwing it out there. This is nothing that hasn't been out there for public consumption already. I'm not saying anything out of line, and if I was, I don't give a fuck anyway, because I tell it like it is, and I apologize once again. So this is for the tag team titles. Do the EVPs, who came in here last minute for this, although they got the quick build on it, and what happened this past Wednesday as well, leading into it, was really the only thing that felt like a part of a go-home show for Dynamite. Do the EVPs win? Does Sting go out on a loss like the veterans, the old guys, the OGs are supposed to do, put the younger generation over? Or otherwise everybody in 2024, all these pansies and panty waifs and crybabies and everybody's friends and you do the job, put the young guys over, why do you gotta hang around, old guys disgruntled? Fuck all that, man. It's just my opinion. I think Sting should retire and go out as a champion. That's what I think. You go, well, Chaos, well, where do you go with the story? What happens if he was retired? What does Darby do? Is there another tournament? Does he get to pick another partner? I mean, what happens? Do the Young Bucks win the titles and then they go on and feud and you try to line up other tag teams, whether it be FTR, which we've already seen. What do you do in the tag team division in AEW, which there is no tag team division? Does this save the EVP careers? Does Sting do the job? This is a tough call. I personally would like to see Sting go out as a champion, but you have to have a plan for after that. Everybody's picking the Young Bucks. I haven't heard anybody pick Sting and Darby. And nobody wants to see another tournament, although to me personally, maybe you let Darby pick a partner, or this is a tough book on this. I guess the natural thing would be is to give it to the Bucks, give it to the EVPs, let them win the titles, and Sting walks away and Darby goes on to a singles run or whatever you're going to do with Darby Allin, because there's no direction with Darby. What do you have him do? Singles matches with the Young Bucks? What do you have him do for revenge? Where do you put him? So there's a lot left up in the air here. So if I go with my prediction of Sting in his final match, going out as a champion, what do you do from there? I'm not opposed to a tag team tournament, but what happens to Darby? Because he gets fucked. He gets screwed over, right? So this could go either way. I wouldn't be disappointed if the EVPs won. Although I'm not a big Bucks fan, I respect what they do in the ring. This was certainly a boost their career. So you guys let me know. I want to see Sting. That's where my heart is. I want to see Sting go out a champion. But if the Bucks win, nobody's going to be surprised. So far we went with the 0 hour clusterfuck of the 12-man scissor bang, gang bang your sister's ass. No offense. So that's one match. The 8-man scramble is 2. The Continental Crown Championship is 3. The International Championship is 4. The Women's title is 5. The TNT Championship is 6. FTR against the BCC is 7. The unbelievable matchup of Ospreay and Takeshita is 8. The tag team titles, Sting's retirement match, is 9. And then there's the main event for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in a three-way, which I don't like. I've never liked. If you go back and check out all the videos here of Chaos Corner, and when I do these preview shows and review shows of the current day pay-per-views, especially the two big ones right now, WWE and AEW, I don't like it when the champion can't defend the title himself, or he can potentially lose the title without getting pinned. It doesn't work. It never worked for me. It's supposed to be mano a mano, one-on-one. I don't like this three-way scramble. I don't like the way that Hangman was thrown in, or Strickland. They have their own thing going on. Samoa Joe, you finally got a credible fucking champion since MJF and Punk. He looks the part. He is the part. He's a legit badass. Promos in the ring, the whole 9 yards. It's only been a couple of months. You're going to have him as a fucking transitional champion, Samoa Joe, a legend, a Hall of Famer already? It doesn't make any sense. It's too early for Swerve Strickland to become the champion. What's Swerve going to pin Paige? Paige is going to eat the pin? Hangman, Snake Plissken, Cowboy, Jet, whatever you want to call him. Hangman Page right now has already been the heavyweight champion. I don't think he deserves to be the heavyweight champion right now. He hasn't done enough to make for me. He's in that feud with Strickland, which is a great storytelling. Swerve, whose house? Swerve's house. He's the hottest rising star along Takeshita in this company, and throw Wardlow in there too, but he's already been on the rise until they fucked him up, screwed him up. And again, I really, really do apologize for that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I keep saying fuck. It's like my go-to cuss word. Fuck. I said it again. So the three-way, I think it's still Joe's time. What do you have? Swerve, pin Page? Because there's no way Joe should be pinned, in my opinion. There's no way Joe should lose the title. My prediction is, and I'm sticking with it, I want Samoa Joe. I'm predicting Samoa Joe. It's too early for Swerve. As hot as he is. They never strike while the iron's hot in the AEW anyway. Look what they did with Wardlow when the iron was hot. Look what they did with the Acclaimed when the iron was hot. Look what they've done with Keith Lee, so on and so forth. I can give you multiple examples. Joe is the real deal. Why would you take it off the face of your company right now, who's legit, who brings that to your company? Strickland's not going anywhere. Have Paige, who's already been a former champion, have him eat the pin. Let Joe retain the title. Swerve has plenty of time. It's too early. And then you kick Joe to the curb? He's picking tar out of his ass? Does that make any sense to anyone? Not to me. I leave Joe. And I let Joe go on to face Wardlow, which we've already had. I get it, for the TNT Championship. And if Wardlow doesn't win that scramble, I get it. But you can go a lot of different ways with Joe. Do you have Strickland win the title, hypothetically, and then what, you carry on the feud with a series of matches against Strickland and Joe? Okay, but then Joe's not going to win it back. It's just too early, and to make Joe a transitional champion, I don't see it or agree with it. Get Hangman Page out of that title picture right now. Okay? Let Joe retain. Let him and Strickland go at it, and whoever else you want to bring in. That's my opinion. Joe can't lose this heavyweight title. Take it to the bank. I'm going with Samoa Joe. Again, I don't believe there's anything that's going to be added to this. I already said the amount of matches. It's going to be sold out and jammed to the rafters. Roma, Mancini, how many fucking times are you guys going to come down here? This is 3 times in the last 3 weeks that you guys have interrupted me here on a Saturday night. Do me a favor.
Well, what you say, big daddy?
There's treats upstairs. There's my wife's birthday cake left over. Have a slice. Roma, you don't have to flex to give me the double bicep. I get it. Mancini, I know you're trying to be in shape for Great North Wrestling. Jack Kilby, Maurice, I get it. I understand. But go upstairs. I'm just
some
finished.
cake for your you guys.
Thank you, wife, for bringing it down. Could you take them upstairs, please? I'm done. Revolution, I'm done with the review.
Yes.
We're going to Greensboro, North Carolina, AEW Revolution. Roma Mancini, get your hands off my wife. Go upstairs. 5 minutos for all my Spanish-speaking friends. We're almost done with Revolution. I love you guys. Wife, I love you. Thank you so much. What a great weekend. Check out the shows with my wife on Dinner for Two that we just put up last night. You guys will love the conversation, trying to build my female demographic, the female audience and members here, talking about everything from Lydia's Kitchen to Pioneer Women to Kids Baking Championship to Real Housewives to Below Deck to everything you can think of, to even current day issues in society. All right, Mario, I'm coming. Hold on, guys. You guys want to come on? You never want to come on camera, but if it was for Hey Roma or the Mario Mancini show or whatever it is, you guys would come over here. All right. As you can see, there's always something going on here at Chaos headquarters. Thank you guys for being here. We kept it under an hour. We kept it under 55 minutes. Consume this tonight and leading into tomorrow. We'll see you at Revolution. This is my preview and prediction show. I will be back. Stay tuned to the channel. Stay tuned to the community page. Drop an elbow on that like button. Subscribe. And let's roll. There's 3 types of people in this world. Those who don't know what happened, those who wonder what happened, and people like the Guardian of Chaos that make things happen. In order to get respect, you have to start with respecting yourself. Once you do that, you open other people's minds to respecting you. I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Don't you dare miss it.